So what are your supply chain goals for 2022? That's what we're going to be talking about this week, and I'll give you a few steps which will help you towards reaching those goals. Coming right up. Okay, so what are your supply chain goals for 2022? 2021 has been fairly disruptive, hasn't it? Probably for some companies, even more than 2020. We've had supply issues, shipping issues, sourcing issues, all sorts of challenges to deal with. But of course, as supply chain professionals, we rise above that and get everything done, don't we? So what are you doing for 2022? Hopefully you've put your plans together, but if not, let me give you my simple three-step plan really to get your supply chain focused for 2022. So here are 3 quick steps to boost your supply chain performance in 2022. First of all, I would say get strategic. Many businesses really still don't dovetail their supply chain strategy into their business strategy. So your business, your organization might have gone through a lot of change and disruption in 2021. How has that focus changed? Is it very much on cost reduction? Is it on asset rationalization? Is it on boosting customer service? Maybe gaining more market share? You really need to ensure that whatever you're doing in the supply chain really matches with what the business goals are, because sometimes the two can be a little bit detached. If you need to see some videos on supply chain strategy, there are loads on the channel. So if I remember, I'll put a playlist down below as well. So really get focused on what are we trying to achieve in 2022. For a lot of our consulting clients at Logistics Bureau, which is my day job, a lot of it is around focusing on customer service, particularly with replenishment and resupply issues. They may actually be carrying a little bit more inventory than they would normally, and they're just really trying to maintain those service levels. So things are constantly changing. What are your goals going to be for 2022? The second thing I would then say is check your performance on your supply chain. And again, there's lots of videos on the channel all about KPIs and tracking performance. So I'll put some links to those down below as well. But what are your key metrics? What are the key metrics that you're looking at? And hopefully you haven't got dozens of them. Is it around service performance? Is it around cost performance? It might be managing your inventory. Really have a look at those metrics and make sure they're up to date. Have you compared those against industry benchmarks as well? It's always good to take that look over the fence to see what other businesses are doing. Not necessarily other businesses in your industry either. We can learn a lot, I think, from looking at what people are doing in different industries. So if you've been cruising along at a certain level, maybe there's a bit of a comfort factor there, maybe have a look around and see what other businesses are doing, and that could encourage you to lift your game perhaps and strive for higher targets in 2022. The other benefit, of course, is when you're comparing yourself to others, and maybe if you're going to go through some kind of a benchmarking exercise, it highlights opportunities for you, but the gaps, it's kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it? Benchmarking like that in your supply chain will very often show you specific areas where your supply chain is underperforming compared to others, which, if you flip that, is a great opportunity. I've helped hundreds of companies over the years, benchmark their supply chains, and it's funny, they always have a gut feel that, our transport costs are probably too high, and we know that this is probably not right, but there are always a couple of areas where they're surprised, and they go, oh wow, we didn't think that was as bad. And then of course they spin that around and go, that's a great opportunity area. So get strategic, make sure you're targeting the right things, and then check your performance. Is it good enough? What are others doing? Can you aim a little bit higher? And then really put your game plan together is the third step. Bring all of that together. What are your specific targets going to be in 2022? Don't have too many. It might be around service, cost, whatever it could be, expanding into new markets, extending ranges, many different things. which we need to think about, obviously, from a supply chain perspective, but what are your specific targets going to be around maybe cost and service particularly? And over what time frame? You know, it's a little bit like setting New Year's resolutions, isn't it? If we have a vague target but no time frame within which we're promising ourselves we're going to achieve it, we kind of never get there. I always find when you're setting time frames, 90 days is probably about as far out as you want to go. A 90-day target is, you know, you can visualize that. It's close enough that, you know, you've really got to get working on it, and it's sort of close enough that you can see those targets being achieved, and then you can have another 90 day and another 90 day, you know, as opposed to having a 12-month target. You know, by this time next year we hope to have achieved this, and then you kind of drift along and play catch up later in the year perhaps. So comment down below about how you set targets and milestones to try and achieve them, but 90-day plans I find work really well. And specifically, what are you going to do? So let's say you've got a target to reduce our logistics cost per pallet or per ton by, you know, 4% or whatever. What are the specific things that you're going to do to actually achieve that? And then maybe have, you know, sub-targets for those. So we're going to have less than truckloads. We're going to have, you know, better consolidation of orders, you know, whatever it might be in your business. So have the specific goal, the time frame, and then very clearly the things that you need to do to be able to achieve those goals. So there you go. Just some thoughts for 2022 to help you get on track, start reaching your goals. Let's just summarize. It was, you know, get strategic, make sure your supply chain is aligned with the organizational goals, check your performance. How are you tracking on those key metrics, and how are you tracking compared to other businesses, other organizations, and have a very clear game plan for actually achieving all of those. So if you have any questions on that, as always, comment down below. I will remember to put some links down below to other resources that can help you with all of this. But thank you for watching. I hope that was valuable, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.